Hey yon, welcome back to another video. With Vanguard coming out in less than a week, I wanted to take a look back and see what Treyarch did right with Cold War Zombies. There are many aspects of the game mode that I like, and today's video will only focus on the positive aspects, and I'll try not to get too sidetracked. I will also do a video on what they did wrong or could improve on the formula after Vanguard. I will not be judging Vanguard, as I feel like they were not given enough time at all to make what they wanted and did what they could with the time given to them. This video will focus mainly on realm-based maps. I didn't play Outbreak that much outside of challenges and don't enjoy it as much. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. First thing I want to talk about is how the weapons look and sound. Compared to Black Ops 4, Treyarch's last game, this is a huge improvement. It might not seem like a lot, but it really does make a difference with how much you fire the guns. This is especially noticeable when we compare the KN from Black Ops 4 to the AK from Cold War.
Capture all zones.
The AK sound has a punch to every single bullet fired, and the gun moves more realistically, while the KN just sounds fake and moves too perfectly. The Strife has the same issue when compared to the 1911.
Laser waves ready. Losing the advantage.
The reload sounds are also a huge improvement, which you can tell from the comparisons. Second is the extent with which you can customize your HUD. Don't like the health bars on the zombies? You can disable them. Don't like the hit markers either? You can disable those too. What about the damage numbers? No exceptions either. There are only two things I wish were in here as well. Hit markers for elite enemies only, and allowing you to disable the minimap. You can disable the compass, so I would have liked to been able to disable the map as well. But overall, I can only praise Treyarch for allowing us to customize our HUDs to this extent. The FOV isn't related to the HUD, but it is a part of the settings, so I will also give Treyarch credit for giving us that option as well on console. I also really like the fact that none of the maps have an overly complicated way of turning on the power or PackAPunch. It's been a few years since Zetsubo no Shima, but that map had an unnecessarily complicated way of turning on the power. Having a simple way of turning on the power and PackAPunch makes the map flow a lot better and allows for more people to enjoy it. Another bad example of this is Dead of Night, and as much as I like that map, setting up is a huge pain. Activating the artifact, the power, isn't difficult, but to access PackAPunch you need to get 3 tuning forks. Each tuning fork has an associated crystal you need to find and power up by getting melee kills near it, which will allow you to see a vision that shows an area of the map or an object that is somewhere on the map that you will have to interact with. And this can change from game to game, so there's a lot to memorize. Once you have the forks, you go to the tree beyond the house and interact with it, which opens the forest in which you can find PackAPunch. Compare this to MaDeToten, where once you activate power, 2 tempests will spawn into the map, each holding 1 fuse. Upon killing them, you can now insert the fuses and turn on the power. And for PackAPunch, you just need to kill a disciple. The difference between these two systems is huge and makes a very significant difference. I personally like Dead of Night, but I don't play it that often because of the setup process, and I have no such issue with any of the Cold War maps. Next on the list are the wonder weapons. For me, a good wonder weapon can save an otherwise bad or tedious map, like in Dead of Night, where the wonder weapon is very powerful and very fun to use. This is the case for every map in Cold War except Firebase Z. There, the wonder weapon just felt like the energy AK from Infinite Warfare, and the process of getting the weapon is weird and hasn't worked well for me so far. In Die Maschine, the wonder weapon is easy to get, is powerful, and has several different versions for you to experiment with and see which one you like most. This wonder weapon has become much more powerful now that Treyarch has allowed us to PackAPunch it, which I'm not sure why we weren't able to do that from the start, but it's now more powerful than it has ever been. In MaDeToten, the wonder weapon is kind of a pain to get, but it's not too difficult. It's also very powerful and has several different variants as well. In Forsaken, the wonder weapon is pretty easy to obtain and is perhaps one of the most powerful wonder weapons we've ever seen in any COD Zombies game. This is because it has a melee mode that once fully upgraded can one-hit zombies up to around 40 I believe, and combined with the fully upgraded melee skill tree, it's very powerful. Overall, the wonder weapons in Cold War are extremely powerful and worth getting every single time you play any of the maps. Extra points for being able to get the ray gun as well as the wonder weapon in both Die Maschine and Forsaken. The only complaint I have regarding wonder weapons is that you can replenish the reserve ammo with normal ammo drops except for the crystal axe. While this does mean that you get to use the weapon more often, they are fun to use. It does make everything just a little bit too easy. The Easter eggs of the Cold War maps are all relatively easy and you can complete all of them solo with ease as well. Solo Easter eggs haven't been a major issue since Black Ops 3 except for Shadows of Evil, but it's always a positive and worth mentioning. What is worth mentioning is that the Easter eggs aren't that difficult, unlike some in the past. I'm looking at you, Blood of the Dead. Maybe the Easter eggs are a little too simple, but that's a subject for the next video. The boss battles are hit and miss, but the ones from MaDeToten and Forsaken are very good. MaDeToten might be a bit too much on the challenging side, but it is doable and it does feel really rewarding once you do complete it. The Forsaken battle is relatively easy, but it is fun to do since you blast the boss away with 2 railguns, which is epic. Next, I like that you can craft Scorestreaks using salvage. They're very powerful and very fun to use. Blowing zombies away with the chopper gun is something that I wish we were able to do for a very long time. It just adds more diversity to the ways with which you can kill zombies. They are also all very powerful, so there's no bad choice with any of them. There's some choices that are better, but none are bad in my opinion, though it is kinda sad that Treyarch patched the death machine, which used to give players extra points. Lastly, I'm just gonna list some miscellaneous things that don't belong together in one category but are still good features. Having double points also affect the points earned from going prone in front of perk machines is a nice addition. I always found it a bit strange that that wasn't the case in the older games. While I dislike the health bars on normal zombies, I do think that it's a good thing that it's always present for elite zombies, something that could be annoying in older games, especially with high health zombies like the Plague Father. I also like that the power-ups now have a timer on them letting you know how much time is left, a small detail that I appreciate very much. The movement and mantling system is definitely an upgrade over previous entries as well. You can now parkour much better and more smoothly. Areas where in previous games you would be stuck, you can now climb on or mantle over like railings. That's it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more COD Zombies content in the future. Also let me know in the comments down below what you thought Cold War Zombies did right and whether you agree or disagree with any of the points I made during the video. My next video will be on what Cold War Zombies did wrong, so be on the lookout for that. Have a good one and I'll see y'all next time.